There is an age-long debate about which Call of Duty title is the best, which Call of Duty title is the worst, and so on and so forth. Everybody is always debating about it. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the last 10 Call of Duty titles, which starts us at COD 4 all the way up to the current Infinite Warfare title, and I'm going to rank them myself from worst to best. What's up, guys? Jimmy or Chaos? Welcome back, and we are going to solve this, at least for today, with my opinion on what the worst Call of Duty title is and the best. Obviously, Call of Duty World War II does not count because it's not here yet, but we are going to go all the way from COD 4 to Infinite Warfare. So drop a like on the video, be sure to turn on notifications, click the little bell, and then check the box whether you're on mobile or desktop so you don't miss a video upload or a live stream whenever I go live. And also, really quick, just a quick reminder, I have a giveaway going on where 10 people are going to win a copy of Call of Duty World War II. I'll put a link in the description, and you guys can go enter multiple ways to enter, and 10 people are going to get a copy of it on launch day. Now, let's get into this. You guys can let me know if you agree, if you disagree. I'm going to give you my reasoning behind each one of my picks. So, we are going to go worst to best, starting at number 10, which will be the worst title in my opinion, all the way down to number 1, which I would consider the best Call of Duty title so far. And at the worst title, I have to give it at number 10 to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And I'm not hating on it in the sense of people say, well, you don't play the game, don't worry about it, Jimmy, don't hate on it, don't love it, whatever. I'm doing this because of how incomplete the game was. I'm not doing it because we went farther into space and we had advanced movement. Infinity Ward didn't really have a choice in that. It was a bad deal because they picked the way they were going to do years earlier, and nobody knew that it was kind of going to go a different direction with the mindset of what the community wanted. So I don't hold that against them. But what I do hold against the title is the incomplete game that we were given at launch. When it came to the combat record, when it came to the emblem editor, when it came to leaderboards, things like that, that is what I hold on to when I look at the negatives of Infinite Warfare. So Infinite Warfare takes the number 10 spot for me. And if you guys want to give me your list in the comment section or on Twitter, I would love to see how you rank them from worst to best. So number 10 all the way down to number 1. At number 9, I give it to Call of Duty Ghosts. And my reasoning behind this, Call of Duty Ghosts wasn't a horrible game. It was just really lackluster. From everything to how the game looked, how the game played, how the game only lets you use one or two weapons that were primarily just used by everybody. I know every Call of Duty has that to a degree, but also the score streaks or kill streaks were just really lackluster. We don't need to put a UAV on the ground. The campaign was a blast, but the transition over to current gen when it was next gen, I think they put too much focus on the last gen, not enough on the current gen, and it just gave us a title, to me, that didn't really have any pop. That's why it's at the bottom of the list for me. Moving along, at number 8, we have Advanced Warfare. Now, there are positives from Advanced Warfare. The reason it's not at the bottom of the list for me is the fact that Sledgehammer supported it from day one, and they still support it today. That is huge in my book. And yes, they introduced exosuits. Yes, they introduced advanced movement. Yes, they introduced supply drops and weapon variants. Everything came out in Advanced Warfare. Once again, the campaign was great. I could do a video and rank the campaigns. It would be a whole different ballgame, but we're not doing that right now. The campaign was great, but the multiplayer aspect of it just, they innovated. They stepped out of their box and they tried. I just think it was a little too much for the Call of Duty universe when it comes to exosuits and jumping and double jumping and things like that. That's why I put it where I put it. At number 7, Modern Warfare 3. Now, you're always going to have a problem. Well, I say that, but I'm going to prove that wrong here in a minute. Usually, if you get to the trilogy, the third one doesn't have the same following that the original did. But that's not the case with all of them. We'll talk about that here in a minute. At number 7, we have Modern Warfare 3. And the best way I can describe it for me is it was an incomplete mix of Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4. It wasn't a bad game at all. I have a lot of memories with Modern Warfare 3, and I guess the reason I put it at number 7 is because it didn't have a lot of pop either. It was the third in this storyline. Once again, campaign's awesome. Campaign's awesome on every Call of Duty. So it's kind of null and void to throw that factor in there, but it just didn't have a lot of pop. We did have the 3 strike packages. We did have the point system in there. We had Moabs, things like that. It just felt like I don't know, like you took Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4 and you put them in the washer and you washed them and then you put them in the dryer and it just came out not quite as fresh as its predecessors. That's the best way I can describe it. It wasn't a bad game in my mind. It didn't have a lot of pop. Moving right along. Number 6, and this could have been higher for me because I absolutely enjoyed World at War. Absolutely enjoyed it. I mean, I loved it. I have so many memories playing with friends on multiplayer in World at War. Very simplistic game for what we are used to now, and we are going to get a taste of that going back to Call of Duty World War II. The only problem is there's titles above it that were really, really good too, so it kind of got pushed down the list at number 6. But it didn't get put at number 6 for anything negative. I mean, the only negatives I can say is there's no support for it, and there hasn't been for a long time, so hackers took over and dominated. But when it comes to the play of it, it was a blast. Now, there wasn't a huge weapon selection. I guess maybe if there was a negative, you could go with that. But other than that, I loved World at War. Now, we are into the top 5. At number 5, and once again, you only have so many spots, so just because it's at a certain spot doesn't mean that it's any less good, I guess you could say. Black Ops 3. I would say Black Ops 3 gave us the most complete, most content-filled Call of Duty title we've had to date. And, well, you could say Infinite Warfare has more content, but I would say Black Ops 3 has more enjoyable content, just my opinion, and they're still producing content today, plus they did the things with the modding and all of that stuff. Black Ops 3, from the campaign to the zombies to the multiplayer to the additional content to the support on the game, was a very, very solid title, and there's a reason people are still playing it. It's still a prominent title right alongside Infinite Warfare, if not more, 2 years down the road. So I thought it was deserving of the number 5 spot for me. At number 4, if you don't put Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Remaster, whichever one you want to put, I'm going to go with the original title, in the top 5, there's something wrong. If you've never played it or you never even went and played Remastered, you should, because this is where a lot of it started. We didn't include COD 3, COD 2, COD 1, or any of those, but this is really where the multiplayer experience got some traction. And I could argue with anybody that would say COD 4 should be at the bottom of the list. Absolutely not. This game was simplistic to a degree, 3, 5, 7 kill streaks, and you just get in there and you play the game. Yes, it can be saturated with hackers and glitchers and all that, but that could be any title that's not supported throughout the years. And the Remastered, even with the supply drops and the extra DLC, just the core game, I mean, Raven did an absolutely amazing job on it. So COD 4 gets my number 4 spot. Number 3, top 3 game to me. And this is where it's going to differ for a lot of people, okay? I fully understand that. Remember, this is my opinion. Black Ops 2, solid game. Super solid game. Still fun today, especially now that it's backwards compatible on Xbox One. Will we get a remaster in the future? Maybe. Maybe years down the road, and then that will be amazing as well. Black Ops 2 is as solid of a game as it gets, and it may have been the most hyped Call of Duty we've ever seen so far. So many people attached to this game. So many people still play this game to this day. And when you have a game that, what is it now, 3, 4, 5 years old, that is still popular to that degree, you know you did something right. So Black Ops 2 takes my number 3 spot. At number 2, Modern Warfare 2. It doesn't get much more memory-filled for me. I got into game battles. This is where Clan Chaos actually became something with me and my friends. We had game battle. We went in the ladders. We did all kinds of stuff. There was so much involved with Modern Warfare 2 for me as a Call of Duty fan, from unlocking the camos, the Red Tiger, the Autumn, all of it. All of it. So many, it's where I really got into watching YouTube and commentators and things going on back in the golden years of Call of Duty commentators. I put Modern Warfare 2 at number 2 because of the memories that could just come flooding back for me. Yes, there was one-man army. Yes, there was noob tubes, but there's negatives with every Call of Duty, and Modern Warfare 2, in my mind, deserved to be the number 2 spot. But for me personally, and I know not a lot of people are going to agree with me on this, but this is my bread and butter. The number 1 spot for me is Black Ops. I just felt like it was the most complete, long-term fun game that I've ever played with Call of Duty. I mean, it was where I really got into my YouTube channel, where I launched my YouTube channel, and the memories, they're everywhere with this game. I loved the kill streaks in this game. I loved the guns. I loved the COD point system. I loved the party games with this. I loved the DLC. Everything about it, I loved Black Ops. Definitely my favorite game in the Call of Duty franchise. So there you go, guys. From worst to best, 10 down to 1. You let me know what your list is. Don't forget to enter that giveaway. Turn on notifications and drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later.